One of the biggest retirement decisions isn't about money. It's about where you live. Should you stay in the family home? Should you downsize? Would a condo be a better idea? Or would renting give you more freedom? The funny thing is, we've spent years preparing financially for our retirement, but very little time thinking about whether our current home will fit the lifestyle we want to live. And here's what I've learned. The best retirement home isn't necessarily the one you've lived in the longest. It's the one that supports the life you want to live now. Today on the cafe, let's talk about some important questions to ask before deciding whether you should stay or should you go. Hi there, and welcome back to Education Cafe Canada. I'm Shari. If you're approaching retirement or recently retirement, housing decisions may be starting to appear on your radar. Now, this is especially true for solo agers, but really it applies to everyone. 7 factors that can help you decide whether your current home still fits the next chapter of your life. And as you'll see, this decision is rarely about money. Question 1, does your home still support your lifestyle? Now, many people go into retirement assuming they're going to stay exactly where they are. And sometimes that's absolutely the best decision. If your home brings you joy, meets your needs, and supports your lifestyle, well, why move? The goal isn't to leave the home you love. The goal is to make sure your home still works for you. Not the life I expect to have, but the life I actually want today. The second factor to explore is, are you staying for the right reasons? For many of us, our homes bring so many memories, birthday parties, holiday dinners, children growing up possibly, family gatherings, sometimes even several generations of stories. Those memories are valuable. But there's a difference between staying because you love your home and staying because you feel guilty about leaving. And if your house no longer suits your needs, it may be time to consider whether someone else should create new memories there. That doesn't erase your history. It simply allows you and your home to begin a new chapter. And remember, there's no deadline. These decisions can take months or even years to determine. The third factor, stairs. What about them? The stair question. Now, many people have strong opinions about stairs. Some retirees love them. They'll tell you that climbing stairs is very good for you and you don't get bungalow legs and it keeps you active. Others are a little less enthusiastic when they have to carry laundry or groceries or a vacuum from floor to floor. Now, only you can decide where the balance lies. And personally, I think it's one of those situations where honesty is really important. Don't ask whether you can still manage the stairs. Ask whether you want to keep managing the stairs. Those are 2 different questions. Now, the fourth factor is, could you age in place? Moving isn't your only option. Many people stay successfully in their homes by making a few modifications. Maybe you want grab bars in the shower. Doesn't everybody need those? Improving the lighting, handrails, maybe even a walk-in shower. Some accessibility features. Modifications are what you need. Seek recommendations. There are organizations that can come in, they can look at your home, tell you what you might need, and get a few quotes. My father always taught me, get 3, depending which one you want to use. Seems sensible to me. Now, the 5th question you might want to ask yourself is, would condo living make life easier? Many retirees are attracted to condos because of the convenience. There's no lawn. There's no snow removal. There's often less maintenance, and usually in-suite laundry. So if condo life appeals to you, maybe consider renting before buying. Think of it as a test drive, a year spent getting to know a building, a neighborhood, and that could prevent an expensive mistake. Not every location that looks ideal on paper feels ideal once you actually start living there. And that leads into the next question. Should you own or should you rent? Many of us grew up believing that home ownership was the goal, and I confess, there's a voice in my head that sometimes says exactly that. But, retirement invites a different question. It's not, can I own, but do I want to own? Selling a home may free up a substantial amount of capital. And then depending on your financial situation, that capital could be creating interest that's offsetting most of your rent. Definitely a conversation you want to have with a financial advisor. And let's not forget the flexibility. The roof leaks, someone else has to worry about it. The furnace dies, someone else makes the repair call. And if you enjoy travel, well, there's a comfort in knowing, that your home doesn't advertise your absence, with the uncut lawn or the unshoveled drive. Now, my final question is really, are you giving yourself enough time? One of the biggest mistakes people make is assuming that they can move quickly. Most of us have accumulated decades worth of possessions. Books, papers, photographs, furniture. And let's be honest, you probably have boxes you haven't opened in years. Moving can take time. So I really encourage people to start decluttering now when you have time on your side. Because for me, it's a multi-year project. And yeah, that will be another video. Now, whether you stay in your current home, move to a condo, rent an apartment, or come up with some other idea, the goal is not to make the perfect housing decision. The goal is to create a living situation that supports the retirement you want. So take your time. Ask questions. Explore options. And remember, your retirement home should support the life you want to live, not the life you used to have. If you found this video useful, helpful, please subscribe. Like it, share it with other people. Maybe you know others who are thinking of retiring and don't know where to live either. And until next time, stay curious, stay practical, and in a couple of weeks I'll have a video on different possibilities of where to live.